Lunch with Jumbo at the Del Rios. Again, number 3. Having finally successfully uploaded at number 2.
Now, are we using the same program again?
Yes. So, yeah, you stay with the winners. That other one, I can't even find it anymore. And they always say it still says it's not available. Or it's not operational or something. Coke? Yes, sir.
And sweet tea?
There you go.
Dr. Pepper and Diet?
Did we make that other kid mad? Or?
No, it was really supposed to be my turn. And you guys are in my table.
Okay.
We need some
We'll
more
need
chips.
I need another basket of chips, please, for as soon as you get the order.
Are you going to have the ghost cheese enchiladas?
That's me, yeah. Rice and beans.
You're going to have the spinach, right?
Right.
For you?
Carnitas.
Burrito with queso? Do you like
With queso, no jalapenos, no sour cream.
Grab the head, pull the straws out of his pocket.
I thought I'd let him do that.
Although maybe they were laying there out of my sight, so I thought, well,
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mandarin orange salad. And you'll bring another batch of chips for me.
I'll just get a few more new ones.
Thank you. Okay, now things are moving in a more positive direction.
I know he was behind you when you saw
Who? Well, yeah, it was a compliment.
Positive. He didn't say
Yeah.
stuff or something.
that.
No, I got, made fun of what he was wearing or something. Guess I could have,
Would have been very nice, but
So, Jumbo,
I hope that's size.
what did you say? What now?
I hope that's size.
What does it look like to you?
Well, we had the issue last time.
we seem to have 4
With ice?
objects today.
I remember I see the glasses look different this time. Anyway,
Yeah, could be.
So one of the things we discussed previously
Salty bite.
Maybe it is. Give this to Jumbo.
that got lost in the while I was trying to find an application that would work for it. There, we go. That's what I'm talking about.
okay, thank you.
Thank you. Was the spook light. Now, you live out near the spook light. What,
Yeah.
about a mile and a half, something like that?
Well, I own it.
Really?
I think that's soft.
Right?
We did see it the other night, though. Just going down the road. One of the people said they'd been out there several times and never seen it.
Uh-huh.
Another person never been out there.
Yeah.
But it was out that night.
Step-
We didn't stop and observe it for a long time because we was on our way somewhere. But
Right.
That was hard to say.
So what did it do? Did it,
Child chick.
did it break up into two and split or change colors or
no,
anything?
we didn't see it for just a couple of minutes when we were driving down the road. But it
Didn't
was
make
pretty
you
much
mad?
a flashlight deal that night.
Uh-huh.
Embarrassed and mortified all at the same time.
And I saw it, what is it today?
Of course, I've got a video of it on my YouTube. But
Yeah, I know you did. Yeah, I saw it Thursday night.
so, but nothing. It never migrates over towards your property. Is that right?
Well, it used to be on that other
Is
road.
there a website for interviewing?
No.
But I don't know what caused it to move down to where it's at now. But it's been there where it's at all my life.
Daddy used to-
Yeah, me too. I don't remember it being on any other location.
Well, it used to be on the road north of there.
Oh, I did not know that.
Is there a music interview?
Now,
But I've never physically observed it being in Missouri, I don't think.
no.
Although it's Missouri Spook Light.
I'll pay for it. You
Yeah,
ordered it.
actually,
I
in
have
Oklahoma.
seen it
Actually, in
between me
Oklahoma.
and
I
Spookies.
wish you would have ordered it.
Right.
I was
before
parked
this.
down the road.
I wish I would have thought to ask you.
Just one time, that I recall.
Now, Spooky was investigated by, what was it, real people?
He wasn't investigated.
Well, they came out and did a thing on him. I mean, it's not like they accuse him of doing something wrong.
Real
They
people,
did a
from what
story
I
on
saw
it.
him on. Now, people say it was on That's Incredible, too.
Did the real people get something on the lot? Did they get a video
Yeah.
footage of it?
Yeah, they said the first camera they used broke down as soon as they started to use it. They were a little concerned about getting the other one out. But they had pictures of it moving side to side, and breaking up into a whole bunch of pieces.
You ever heard
Yeah,
anyone
it's
doing like
cool.
an EVP session or anything out there on the Spooklight Road?
Doing what?
An EVP session? You know where you take a recorder?
Electronic voice recording.
Oh,
No.
well, no, I know,
See if you get any disembodied voices or anything.
I know they said the Army shot guns at it.
I've not heard that.
But, the fact is,
That was before I-44.
well, like I said, I didn't know you were looking across I-44 when you're
Yeah.
looking at it.
Yeah.
I've never seen, as many times I've been out there, I've never seen like headlights, even a little bit of gleam from them.
Exactly. Not till you get way down there. Whoops.
That's weird. I've never had that message.
Now what was now there's three weird old things going on down there. That general area.
Yeah.
Spooklight's one of them. The other,
Mansion.
the Hoffman Mansion.
Yeah.
Now I've been in on the grounds there, even though it says no trespassing.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Now, did you ever see any? Was you there during the day or during the night?
The mansion
Yeah.
in the daytime.
Well, me too. Didn't nothing. We had a recorder. Tried to do some EVP stuff and absolutely
Nobody
nothing.
wants
Yeah. It's and what was the story? The guy went nuts and killed his kids with the shotgun or something.
I really don't know the story. That's probably a new thing to me,
Do you know it, Law?
even though it's been.
I think that's right.
What's the third thing that you're talking about?
Devil's Promenade. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they're all like within a mile of each other, aren't there, or so? A couple miles anyway.
Well, I don't know how far that mansion is, but
It's not very far, Nick. It's one of the adjoining roads.
yeah, it's real close to I-44 isn't it?
Uh-huh. Boy, the rascals were salty today, aren't they?
I think that was a big hunk of salt on that chip.
Oh, I bet that's right. Now, what's the story on Devil's Promenade? I forget.
Now, see, I didn't even know where that was. I know Leo took me down there
Uh-huh.
once when we was out riding around. He said, "Oh, that's Devil's Promenade." But he'd just been driving round and round. I didn't have any idea where we were.
Oh,
Now, you may know this, I don't. The Devil's Promenade Bridge is now a new Devil's Promenade Bridge, isn't it?
no. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I've ever been. If I've been across it, I'm not aware
We
of it.
went down to
I thought we
that.
had been across.
Did we? I couldn't find it now.
Crossed it while we were trying to get to Hopkins.
Is that right? I'll have to look it up
I
or
think
something.
that's true, Laura.
Well, there are two
But I
bridges
couldn't
down
tell you
there.
where it is now, or how to get there.
When we were on the way to see B.J. Thomas,
Yeah.
one of the guys had been down there and he was familiar with it, I guess. And I asked him, I said, which one of these two things is Devil's Promenade? He said, well, we're coming up to it here.
Huh.
And I said, well, I go by this several times a week.
Now
I
what's
didn't know it was Devil's Promenade.
Yeah, yeah. Now what's supposed to happen at Devil's Promenade?
Well, it's actually not this is considered the new Devil's Promenade. I
Okay,
guess,
well, the
where
one
we
you
went
can-
across.
So are there
But
two,
it-
or is it just they just tore down the old one?
The old one's still there, apparently.
So
You
the
go
devil
across the new
moved.
one.
The devil moved. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying the Devil's still where he belongs,
Oh, he's got two residences.
but he
though.
never moved to the new one.
But they call it Devil's Promenade, even though he ain't there.
There's something wrong with that.
Well, now there's a bunch of rocks over there at the side that they claim that these lovers leaped off of or something.
Really?
That's how it got its name.
Huh.
I don't know what that's got to do with the devil. You would think it would be a name.
They would be called Lover's Leap, wouldn't you? Not do. No, No, that's, one of them looked like hell or something.
I don't know.
I probably did afterwards, both of them.
Anyway, if that's the new one that's on the highway, you go west a little ways and turn south. That's where the old one is, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't see how they can both be the same thing and then it'll go the same place.
I don't know.
Unless that highway wasn't there before.
I mean, there's nothing like. What's the place where someplace you leave a candy bar or something?
Yeah, it's on the old bridge.
That's not the old Devils?
They said you turn, go south, and you can see the bridge down there, from the highway. But
Right.
you put some sort of food item out there and leave for just a little bit, and someone will come and get it.
Huh. They don't know whether it's the devil or a hootie owl or something.
Now, the person who was with us that night swore they've done that.
Huh.
That girl I worked with that went into the old Freeman.
Oh, yeah?
She did that.
Well, that girl's been around, hasn't she?
She left the candy, I guess they got out of the car and turned it off, walked around. When they were ready to leave, they couldn't turn that car back on for anything.
Huh. How'd they get out? Fine.
Here,
How you doing? Get
Good.
off.
We used your other kid coupon to that table right down there.
Oh, good.
So we
Good, good, good.
handed that. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Uh-huh. See ya.
I guess it's something. Someone will call for help.
Does this presence have a particular kind of candy or whatever they prefer? Or
I don't know, Snickers or you're not feeling like yourself or
like
something?
Reese's Pieces on
When you
ET?
feel like
Yeah.
that.
Well, I was just wondering if you put something out there that like. I mean, I still think it's just the animals,
Well,
figured out the game.
I wouldn't think you could put out like dog food or something.
If it's an animal that comes and gets
Well,
it,
yeah.
you can probably put out anything.
No, that's true.
See that
Of course, they may learn it's you and say, that's that it is, puts out
Oh,
that
the
crap.
real thing.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
you said man, and I was looking for somebody dressed up like a taco or something. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That would be entertaining.
Yeah, it would.
Well,
now-
you need to try that sometime.
Well, yeah.
So I'm usually by there in the daytime, but
So what's your first memory of Spooky?
well, there were two Spookies.
I only knew Garland.
Yeah, he was the second one. I don't remember. I had met the other one, I think, maybe one time.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know anything about him, where he lived, what his real name was.
Now, for anyone that might actually listen to this and doesn't know, Spooky ran the Spooklight Museum,
Right.
which was an old house there at the corner of the Missouri state line and the Spooklight Road.
Yeah.
Had an old there was an old white POS and had like a yard light, so you could kind of actually see it.
There was an old white what?
An old yard light,
Okay.
wasn't there? Like not really so much like a street light, just like
Well,
something
it
you'd
had a
see over a
porch light,
barracks
old
or something,
building.
What was
And
the
a
farm?
little bit of a parking lot, nothing really you would call manicured.
Well, I know every night we came out there, if there wasn't hardly anybody there, he'd say, "Oh, you should have been here last night. We had 2 or 3 bus loads."
Oh,
I never
are you
did see a
kidding me?
bus out there.
I never saw a bus out there.
I don't think he did either.
Yeah, and there was nothing to get in. You just walked in the door, like it was a regular house, and it is now. It's just someone.
Yeah.
It is a residence.
Yeah, it is a
There's only
residence.
one building there now.
Yeah. 25-cent pool table.
I think it's for sale now.
Is it? And then some pictures up on the wall of, I guess, the people had taken during the time. a few newspaper articles and peach soda. You know, he pushed the peach soda.
There were records on the jukebox that dealt with it.
Oh, I forgot about the jukebox. Now, he had a sign up on the wall that said, what is that, no swearing or no profanity? I think it was no swearing.
Something to that effect.
Then he'd sit right underneath it and cuss like a sailor.
That was just up there, you know.
But it's his joint, you know, so.
You know, it gave him the option of tossing you if you were
Yeah. I'd never heard of peach soda until we went there one time. Finally tried it and actually liked it.
He would go down to that store that you could get 17 in Maine. It was Piggly Wiggly for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Other things.
It's a Dollar General now.
You buy whatever off brand they had.
Cheapest thing they had, probably.
Well, yeah.
Well, he always asked us when we'd walk in if we wanted some peach soda. We finally said yeah.
Well, you could just walk back and get whatever you wanted, you know.
Yeah. Now, the one thing I missed, I wish I'd gone in on for whatever reason. I think it was you and Rabbit and maybe Leroy. I didn't go for some reason. I don't remember what. We went out to the spook light and Rabbit had that smoke bomb.
Yeah, the little ink pen thing.
Yeah, it was someone that may not be familiar. You take an ink pen and you open it up and take out the the ink cartridge.
Yeah.
You put in two strike anywhere matches so that they the heads, you know, are against each other.
Right.
And then you can wrap the spring around one of them to where it sticks out a little ways.
Mandarin orange salad.
Right there, please. So that you can pull it apart, and then inside of it,
Burrito with queso and no jalapenos.
they'll come together and strike. You know, that's the theory of it anyway.
Those spinach enchiladas with queso and those cheese enchiladas.
Yep.
You
Okay.
got it, Drew.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
So, anyhow, and then you know if they come together, the theory is that they'll strike,
You
and
remember everything.
there's not enough oxygen for them to make a flame, but they'll just smoke to beat the devil. So,
The smoke will pretty much
Yeah.
take care of the oxygen.
So Rabbit's in there, and so I think Spooky said something about what he had in his pocket. Well, it was that smoke bomb pin,
Right.
and so
His pocket smoking.
no, it was just he just saw the pin in his pocket, and I guess it looked a little weird, which it would have.
But Rabbit implied it was a harmonica.
Well, he told him. He said, "Well, Spooky, this is a electronic harmonica," and so Spooky wants him to play him a song. So Rabbit pulls that out of his pocket and cups his hand to his mouth and starts doing an imitation of a harmonica thing. The tune he was using, he got from the Little Rascals. Something said, I think it was Stymie. Was it Stymie or Sammy or?
Probably. I don't know.
Anyway, it went da 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 da. Of course, Bruce went, ha, ha, ha.
Well, Bruce did a perfect harmonica.
Yeah. Without one, he didn't need a pin, but he was using just a pin as a prop.
Right.
And he kept pulling at that thing every time he'd get to a crescendo or something in the song, and it wasn't going.
Right.
So about the third time, finally, the matches ignited, and smoke started pouring out of the thing. And Smokey, was about 6 inches from his face because he was trying to figure out how he was doing that.
Yeah.
And so the smoke starts pouring out, and he grabs it out of Rabbit's hand and says, "Oh shit, the boy's damn harmonica's on fire." Takes it and throws it in the toilet and flushes
I never figured. Never figured out.
Wow.
Did we ever recall what cemetery he's buried in?
Garland?
Yeah.
I would guess somewhere in Seneca. That's
Well,
where.
it's down. Well, the funeral was in Seneca,
Uh huh.
but the cemetery is east of Seneca. I can't remember what the name of the cemetery is. I've been to it. He's buried right out next to the road.
Really?
Well, just inside the fence.
Spook Light Road, huh?
No, oh, that would be cool if he was buried out there.
Did you see a thing? It was on Facebook. You know if you're if you're from Joplin, if blah 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 about the Peace Church Cemetery. Someone put an article in there on that. Did you see that?
Well, I don't know. I don't visit that page very often anymore. I'm usually on the other one.
Well, they said it was becoming in such a state of disrepair that some of the retaining walls here, there, and yonder were breaking down and eroding,
Yeah.
and that there was a real danger of some unintended exhumation. You know, the
Oh, I see.
people that was buried there was going to make an entrance
Yeah.
into the world.
So wasn't that where we was at when? No, maybe we were in a different one whenever Bruce jumped into that.
Oh, that was Billy Cook's. That was Billy Cook's grave. Jumped in because it was all sunken. You know, it was about 3 feet sunken in, I guess, and jumped into Billy Cook's grave. I forget how we figured out that was his because he's unmarked. But we was pretty sure that was his anyway. They had a group from, I guess it was Missouri Southern, that went out there, you know, like a paranormal group.
Yeah.
And whatever happened, they said it's just scared the living hell out of them, and
Really?
they packed up and bagged ass out, and
Well,
said
I've
they'd
been
never
out
go back
a
there
long
again.
time, so I've never had anything unusual.
Neither.
Yeah. When you go out with us that night, that we went out there about midnight, about Halloween or something, I think. And they had that big fire built out there by the grave.
No,
There
that
was a bunch of
wasn't.
people
Yeah.
standing around it. We didn't stay, but
Huh.
I didn't know if it was. I'm sure it has something to do with Halloween.
Now you know my dad knew Billy Cook.
The actual Billy Cook.
Yeah, the real Billy Cook. Yeah, they were about the same age. They played together as
But
kids.
his dad had the same name, I think. They were friends, or
Yeah,
they were the same age.
about out in.
Now he went. Your dad didn't go to Eagle Picture School, did he?
Sure he did.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he lived somewhere around Smelter Hill.
Well, you never hear anything about Billy Cook's family. I mean, whatever happened to his brothers and sisters, I knew they were adopted. He
Yeah.
was one that nobody wanted.
Would you like small and sweet tea or Dr. Pepper over there? Do you need some more cookies?
Now, for someone that might be listening doesn't know who Billy Cook is, when was
There's a lot of
it?
information on the
Was it
internet.
in the 50s?
Do what?
Was it in the 50s? He did.
It's actually the 40s.
40s.
Late 40s.
Okay. Somewhere out on Maiden Lane. Is that right? You got into someone else's car?
Up
Or?
on West 7th Street.
Well, okay, but around Maiden Lane, 7th and Maiden Lane, thereabouts.
Well, it was west of Schifferdecker.
Oh, west. Okay.
Thank you.
That would have been almost pretty much out of town back then. Well, most of it would be now. But they picked him up as a family of 4 or something like that. 5. Okay. And he ended up shooting them all and dumping them down a mine shaft
In our neighborhood, yeah.
in around 2nd and Oliver or something over by the McKinley.
Well, between
Was it that area over by the McKinley?
Oliver.
Yeah, by the McKinley church, right?
He got into a car.
Well, they picked him up. He was
He was
hitchhiking?
hitchhiking.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see now.
This family from Illinois picked him up. And he rode, well, he went everywhere with him, I think. And they got away at one point.
Uh-huh.
And they stopped for gas. But the guy that owned the station pulled a gun and run them both out of the station. He said, you let him go, because he didn't know who was, the head guy, who was the bad guy.
So Cook went to, now he fled to California, is that right? And did something out there.
Well, he killed somebody out there.
Yeah, and got
That's
California.
who he was actually executed for. Was
Yeah,
killing that guy out
someone
there.
in California. Missouri never got to put him on trial.
So did somebody in that family know that it was Billy Cook that killed him?
I don't know how they found out.
He'd been in jail or something. And he told somebody there something, I think, that led him to that mine shaft.
Oh. Yeah, it would have just been about half a block from the church.
Oh, yeah.
There was an old kind of a chat pile area. Of course, that whole west end of Joplin is nothing but a chat pile, pretty much.
Was it like on that north side of it?
It would have been east from the church towards, like that, I almost said Oliver or something.
Yeah, I think they built a building over the top of the mine shaft now.
Do you remember when the train tracks that used to go kind of diagonally
Yeah.
across there at 4th and McKinley?
Right.
Okay. And then a little further east was a set that went north and south.
Right.
Went by Frank something or another distributors. Beer, there was a beer distributor.
Oh, yeah.
Well-
They ever played baseball.
Yeah. Anyway, they had taken the tracks that went across 4th Street. They removed them,
Right.
ripped them up, but they left some of it on there, like from 7th Street going north towards 4th Street, almost to 4th Street, but not quite. Okay.
Is that still there?
Well, not now. I don't think it is. In fact, I'm quite sure it is not. But the thing is, when Rabbit and I was running around quite a bit together, they would occasionally set a boxcar there. I don't know if it was for the beer distributor or whatever, but sometimes there'd be a boxcar sitting there. And one night I read in the paper, someone came up, and it was a downhill slope from 7th going towards 4th.
Okay.
And they came up and released the air brakes on the boxcar.
When
And
you say someone, are you...
well, here's the thing: it rolled towards 4th Street, cut a new set of tracks going across 4th Street, and then eventually fell on its side. It had been right there around the Eagle Pitcher Precision Products, and.
Now, wait a minute. Oh, you're talking about the track that was way over there.
Yeah.
Almost to Gray, then. I thought you were
No,
talking about...
not to Gray. It would have been closer to Tyler. Not quite to Tyler. You know where Billy Jack lived?
He lived on 4th Street, didn't he?
Yeah. It would have been before if been between Billy Jack's and Oliver, I guess. Just went straight north and south.
Well, Precision Products was way off down.
No,
It's on the other side of 8 Lane.
No, it didn't.
Oh my God, it was.
No, you're thinking of the water jet place where it is now at 4th and Gray. EP Precision Products is at 1900 West 4th Street, 1900 and something
It
West
was
4th.
east of the bowling alley.
No, it's west.
You're going to be wrong.
No,
My God.
no, not Precision Products. It's
I don't know what
still
you're
there.
thinking about, but if I got Precision Products turned into a barber shop.
No, Precision Products is still in operation.
Well, it may be, but by God, it ain't where it was.
Yeah, it is. You remember George Ray? He worked there.
I don't know who that is.
Nah, he was a guy from church. Real odd duck. Hope you're not listening to that, George. But real
We
nice.
just discussed Walter and not hear what he thought.
Anyway, the whole point of the story.
Precision Products is that building just east of 4th Street Mall on the north side.
East? Nope.
Yes, sir.
Nah, well, you're
Well, by God, where you want to put it?
right at about 4th and Tyler.
On the north side of 4th Street.
Yep. Almost right across from the water tower. In fact, pretty much right across from the water tower. Got the big
At one time.
got the big thing that says zero defects or something.
Yeah, I know where you mean.
Well, it's between
But
McKinley
originally-
and well, as far as all I can remember is it being between Maiden Lane and McKinley.
Originally, then it was east of the bowling alley. Then.
Not that I can remember.
I think it evolved maybe into where you're talking about. Anyway, what's the
Anyhow, was the whole thing was, I don't know how many calls Rabbit and I both got from people asking us about that train car. That
were you responsible?
we were not.
But is that what they're...
But we couldn't convince anyone of it.
You know,
Everyone, of course, we'd done stuff like that before, but
your
that-
reputation
this
precedes you.
this particular instance, we actually had nothing to do with. But
Well, you'd probably been happy to take credit for it.
well,
Well, they were involved
I
in
never
it.
took credit for anything I didn't do.
Yeah, I was always pretty big on I wanted to be, you know, I would take credit for anything I did. But I wanted people to believe me, so you would be found out wrong. A couple
except for
times.
except for that cafe thing.
Well, I said I take full responsibility for that. I just won't discuss it on here.
Okay.
I said I don't really think it'd make any difference now.
I wonder if that.
Did you ever check to see if the building's actually there? I don't think it is.
I don't think it is now. Ogles?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's there now. I'm quite certain it is not. Those little crappy apartments just north of it are still there.
Are they still apartments?
I guess so.
Well, that was in bad shape.
Well, yeah, 50 years ago they was in bad shape.
What's the name of that place? Do you know?
I can't think of it. Crap House Hotel or something. Huh? That's what it ought to be.
Now you remember the little amusement park that was across the street from there?
Well,
You don't remember?
in Shepherd Decker,
Yeah.
the only thing I can remember is they used to have a miniature railroad thing.
Yeah.
And you could get on these little hang carts. You'd sit on them, and you could propel yourself around. I don't know, it was a 2 or 3 block track in a circle. You remember those? I remember the train. They had the Kansas City
They had an
Southern
actual train.
but they also had these. It was like a hand cart for a kid, but you sat on it.
And you propelled it yourself?
Yeah, you worked it with your hands,
All
but
that.
that was.
Are you talking about in the amusement park?
Yeah.
Or are you talking about up there in the
Right-
playground north of there?
No, right at 7th and Shepherd Decker. Before they closed off the 5-way. It was originally a 5-way intersection.
Yeah.
Then they closed off the diagonal.
Now, I remember putting that wishing well thing there, but I don't really recall how the intersection was whenever it was open.
I can just barely remember when it was 5-way.
I remember the Ferris wheel, tubs, the train,
Yeah.
and that's the only thing I guess I remember.
Well, I always liked those little push car or Hand cards.
You know the name of the place because we argue about it all the time on
Name of what place?
the amusement park.
I thought the Schifferdecker. No, not the Schifferdecker Electric Park. I don't know. Is that what you're talking about?
It was Kiddie Land when
Oh yeah, I kind of remember. Okay.
but people claim it was called Tinkertown.
Tinkertown.
I don't remember that name.
Oh, that sounds familiar, but I don't.
Well, I remember it was something called Tinkertown, but I don't remember that being it.
Yeah. I'd have to ask Mom
I
about
know it
that.
used to be called Kiddie Land when I was around when I was probably, I don't know, 14.
Yeah, yeah.
And I knew people that worked there.
Well, we're going to wrap this session up. Lunch with Jumbo. Closing this off. See y'all later. Thanks for anyone that might have listened. Hope you hear us again soon, sometime or another. Adios.